Welcome to our whofooadventures kitchen. Today I am going to make apple biscuits. I'm here with my sister Ruth, who is trying to learn how to make some different recipes. So today we are making apple biscuits. The first thing you're going to do is we're going to double this recipe, but you start out with an apple, and what you do is you cut your apple. You want to core it, so however way you want to core and take the core out of it. I tend to do it this way. If you've got one of those handy dandy things that core it, you can do that. And you just get your apple ready. You put it in the blender, because basically what we're going to do is make applesauce.
Yum, 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 yum.
So if you didn't want the biscuits, you could just make applesauce. Yeah. So
Like it.
I am doing 2 apples because I like to double this recipe, because if I'm going to make it a pan of it, I'm going to make 2 pans of it. This is a favorite among my family. My grandkids love it. My daughter-in-law loves this biscuit. And what's fun is this biscuit is really yummy. We serve it lots of times with homemade chili, vegan chili. And we will put a almond chive cream cheese on it. And it's really good. So we'll show that to you at the end, along with some strawberry jam on top of it. It's just really, really good.
I can't wait till the end, sorry.
I know, it's going to be really good. So you put the apples on here. Now the apples have a lot of water in them, but sometimes they need a little bit more water to help them blend.
Right.
We're going to put just a little bit of water in at the beginning, not a lot, just a little bit, and then we're going to blend them. So here we go. Now you blend this with the skin, because the skin has a lot of nutrients in it. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add whole wheat pastry flour. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do calls for 2 cups for one recipe. 1 apple and 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to double it. Now when you stir this, if it's not real moist, you want to add some water, because I found that if it's a little moist, it makes the biscuits not as hard.
Yeah.
It gives them a little bit of a lighter feel to them. Now we're going to use baking powder, and baking powder, you do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Basically all you do is you then just stir it and mix it. And as you mix, you fold in the applesauce. You fold it in. Now I already know I need a little bit more water, so I just add a little bit more water. And you just keep mixing. You preheat the oven to 400, and that's what we're going to bake it at. And you're going to bake it at for about 10 to 13 minutes, depending on your oven and how hot it is. Okay, so you can see the consistency. It's a little wet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, because sometimes it's just not enough from the apple.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we've got it all mixed, and then the next step is to place it on our pans. So here we go. Let me get you the pans. We'll do 1 pan at a time. Now what I do is I use a silicone mat. I bought these off of Amazon, and they're reusable. You can also use parchment sheets, and that's really nice because then it doesn't stick and you're not using oil, because we don't use oil. So there's no oil on here on the pan, it's a silicone mat. And then what you do is you take your spoon, make sure your hands are washed when you do this, and you just take a spoonful. And every time you make this, you sort of find out how big you want these.
Okay.
By how big you want your biscuits.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. So you go,
I
oh,
get
next
it.
time I'm going to make them bigger. And
I'll
you
make
just,
big ones for me and then
Yeah.
smaller ones for little kids,
there
right?
you go. That's right. And then you just put them on your mat
Aww,
across like this.
that looks so cool.
I bake for about 10 minutes. I switch them out, the trays, about halfway, just so I can get some browning on both, even browning on the biscuits, because my oven's not even in baking. This is what it looks like. We got all the biscuits down. We're gonna do another pan here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 12 biscuits. So one recipe makes 12 nice biscuits. So I like to have 24 because the next day you're looking for those biscuits going, where are they? I want one with some jam on it with my cup of tea. You know. So here we go. So we're gonna put these in the oven for about 10 to 13 minutes, depending on your oven.
Okay.
It's at 400. I have it at 420 because this oven doesn't bake as hot. And we'll show everybody what they look like and how good they taste. So,
And eat it in front of them.
That's
so they
right.
Savor them.
yes, you'll enjoy these biscuits. Well, we are back with our baked applesauce or apple biscuits, and this is the end result product. That was about 14, 15 minutes. So you have to really vary it according to your oven and how you like your biscuit. Do you like it really crisp? So this is what the bottom looks like. The top has a little bit of a browning to it, the bottom more browning, but a little bit. But you're trying to keep the moisture in the biscuit, yet have some browning. So I've put the biscuits in here. I like to put it in a dish with a napkin over it to serve it. It just keeps it warm until you eat it. So let's take one here and just pull apart the biscuit here. Over here, just I want you to know is that you can use a whole wheat white flour, which is what it calls for, or you can use a whole wheat pastry. I just use a whole wheat pastry, but experiment, have fun. The one thing I told you I like to put on my biscuits is made by Kite Hill, and it's a cream cheese style spread with chives in it. They have a plain also. Oh, it is yummy, and it's made out of almonds. It is dairy free with no oil. And I like to just spread it, and you can see, look at all the chives in that. Isn't that delicious? And I like to just spread a little bit of it on the top. And then I like to put a little bit of strawberry jam, or a nice apricot one would even be good.
Yum, yum, yum.
All right, Ruth. There's yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Let's
you.
try it out.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
That is really good. That almond cream cheese chive, oh my goodness, it's delicious. Is delicious. And you put a little strawberry on it, very good. You can add these biscuits to your chili by themselves. You can make biscuits in gravy. The options are endless in using these biscuits. Thank you for visiting our kitchen. We'll see you next time.